The following may contain strong opinionated views. The views and opinions expressed on this show does not necessarily reflect the views or the opinions of any social media or broadcast platform.
Hi, welcome to the Coffee Hour, a show that involves you in verbal interaction. Sports with Brian Camp. So settle in with coffee in hand and enjoy the Coffee Hour. Now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Well, TGIF, thank God it's Friday and we're here for another week. It only seems like we were here just last Friday, and Friday only seemed like yesterday, but we're here once again and we're glad to be here, and hopefully you're with us for the whole full hour. The name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. And we're going to be with you for that whole full hour. In that hour, we've got a lot of things to talk about. We've got all kinds of subjects to talk about, and you can chime in on the show as we try to get everyone to chime in on the show, including you. And hopefully, wherever you are, your weather looks good. Your weekend is coming up, because the weekend is coming up, and we got a lot of things to plan for the weekend, and a lot of people are planning various things, and maybe you might want to talk about it on the show, whatever it is. But we're glad to see you here, and we're coming to you live from New York City. That's where we originate. And that doesn't mean we're limited to New York City, because this show is global. We're all around the world. And of course, no matter where you go, it could be outside of New York, on the other side of the world. We're right here, as long as you're in a place where there's a lot of Wi-Fi and great hot spots. And of course, that'll do you great. All right. Now, I want to talk to all of the people who are here, particularly the people who've been around with us for a long time. Thank you so much for being with us and putting up with us for all of these years. There may be some people who are possibly new to the show and maybe here for the very first time. So let me chat with them just for 1 minute. Now, this show, as I always say, comes on every Friday, Coffee Hour, and we get everybody involved, and we want you involved in the show too. You may be new, maybe you don't want to get involved in conversation and you just want to relax the show. But I got to tell you, you have the option of chiming in, and all you have to do is use the keyboard on your computer, be it laptop or desktop. You have your telephone, and then you have your tablets, right? You use the keyboard on there, type in whatever you want to type there. I will see you on the big screen. And of course, I will acknowledge all of your thoughts and ideas. That's what the show is all about. Free exchange of ideas and of opinions. You have a lot of an opinion. You're human, and everyone has one. And if you have one, indeed, we like to hear about it. We don't hold back here. We speak our mind, and just so that you're comfortable with the show. If you're just watching the show and you don't want to chime in conversation, of course, you don't have to. All you have to do is just sit back, relax, and watch the show. I will see you when you come in, but if you have nothing to say, we're going to respect your privacy and just let you watch the show. But if you have something to say, of course, we'll answer you, and you can be welcome to the show. We got a lot of things to talk about, so many things to do, and we want you, again, being part of the show. Now, you ought to know that we're on 3 different platforms at the same time, so you could choose one or the other wherever you are right now. We're live on YouTube, we're on Facebook and Instagram as well. So whatever your platform is, of course, we invite you to, it's the same show. You don't have to go back and forth from one platform to the other. It's the same show, but it's your choice of the platform you want to watch the show on. Okay. And while you're at it, you may take time to tell your family and friends about this show. Okay. All you have to do is let them know, and you can do it by what they call tagging. Now, what you do is whatever platform you're watching on, one of the 3 platforms that you're watching us on, cut and paste the platform that you're on. And that would be the link to where you are. So you cut and paste that, and you could send it to all of your friends. You could send it to all, if not all, maybe some. Maybe you might not be able to do them all at one time, but maybe some. Maybe you could do every week and a little at a time, and a few more, and bring them in because we want them part of the show as well. If they like what they see, if they like what they hear, of course, they'll be back again and again to have verbal intercourse with the rest of us. And not only that, you not only get to talk to me, you can talk to people who come in on the show as well. You could see them there; they'll just pop up, and you can say hi to them, and you can wrap up a conversation. And if you have a particular thing that you want to talk about as far as conversation is concerned, we invite you to do that. A lot of people, because I just start out just getting the show started, and maybe I'll get a conversation going that we can all indulge in. And then someone may type out something, hey, I want to talk about this, or how's things in front of the old White House, or whatever it is, whatever it is. We talk everything. Any issue that you want to talk about, we do it. All you have to do is just be diplomatic about it. All right. We like to keep it a clean, fun show, a family show where everyone can watch. And if you're under 18, then maybe you might want to have a parent or a guardian to watch with you, so they can monitor what you're doing. That's if you're under 18. But for everyone else, it's all free, and we're going to relax and have a good time. We've got a lot of things coming up in the show, interacting with you. Plus, we have our regular thing that we do. For instance, we have sports that comes on. Brian Camp is our sports guy. He comes in with the latest developments in today's world of sports. He comes out of Charlotte, North Carolina. He was here last night with us on the Talkback Live show. If you didn't get a chance to see that or you never heard of it, we're going to talk about that later on in the program. Let you know more about that. But he's en route right now to New York. Now, he said he may try to get in. He may try to get in. We're not going to hold him to it because we want him to get to where he's going safely. He's driving all the way over from Charlotte, North Carolina to New York City. So that's a heavy drive. Him and his wife, I'm pretty sure they drive doing the driving tours, or the chores, I should say. But we'll look out for him. We'll just look out for him. In the meantime, we're going to just anticipate or speculate that we're going to cover the sports for him. So if he shows up, fine. If not, we're going to cover everything for him. But he does that. The latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. And towards the end of the program, we are going to give you those movies. I have a list of movies that I also go into, and I dip into Turner Classic Movies because I love those classic movies. I know a lot of you do too. And that's one of the part of the shows that we do, is that we grab movies from Turner Classic Movies, and I get my picks of the week for your weekend. Now, we do that because your weekend is coming up, and hours from now, you're going to be breaking from the job, and you're going to maybe do a happy hour or something, and then you go home and get set for Saturday and Sunday, whatever it is that you do. However, part of the weekend, maybe you want to catch up on some movies. Now, some people work. When they work 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, and all they have is a weekend. And so they might want to use that weekend to do whatever they want to do, or use that weekend to catch up on some more movies. So I have that for you. I have a list of those movies coming up. Just want to add my 2 cents to that. That's all coming up later on in the program. And I hope that your weekend is going to be a good one. A lot of people are planning things depending on where you are around the world and across the country. You may plan on according to how your weather is. You may do that. I know here in New York City right now, the sun is out. The weather looks good right now. We don't have any rain in the forecast. We may get a few clouds here and there, but the weather is decent this weekend. So we're going to tell you more about that. And speaking of the weather, if you're going to come in and you would like to indulge in conversation, we would love that. Oh, how much we would love that, because I get a chance to talk to you too. And as I said, some of the people who are new for the very first time, they just want to sit back, relax, and watch the show. And we will not rope them into the show. We will not mention their names or anything like that, because I do see you when you come in. I could watch you right there on the screen when you come in. I could see that. But I will not acknowledge you unless, of course, you acknowledge us first, because we like to keep your situation private. Maybe somewhere down the road, you may say, okay, I think I'm ready to chime in on conversation and talk to other people. Maybe somewhere, but maybe not today. But feel free. You can do it. You don't have to have a choice. You just do it if you want to do it, because we look forward to doing it. I love communicating and talking to each and every one of you. Okay. So we've got all of those things coming up. And so sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Now, some of you may be in a different time zone. Now, it's after 10 o'clock. It's 9 minutes past the hour of 10 o'clock here in New York City. So it's 9 minutes past the hour somewhere where you live. You may be on somewhere on the West Coast, which means that you're 3 hours behind me. And so look at your clock, because whatever you see on that clock, that's what time we come in on live in your area, only at the top of the hour. Okay, so keep that in mind. And some of you may be at work right now. All right, this may be the time you at work, or you may be on your coffee break. All right, which maybe you get what, 10, 15, 20 minutes of a coffee break. And that allows you to do whatever you want within that 10 or 15 minutes. And you can go around, you can talk to your coworkers and shoot the breeze. You like to do that? All right. We're going to ask you not to do that today. We're going to ask you to stay at your desk, watch the show, and stay with us and enjoy the show, the coffee hour. And then when your break is over, you can look at the clock, your break is over, and you can go back to work. And all you have to do is multitask. You can go back to work and still watch the remaining of the show. So all of that, does it make sense? Okay. So we're going to be with you up until the top of the hour, and we're going to get things rolling. Okay. So watch out for your coffee break. And keep in mind that your coffee break is only 10 or 15 minutes. Don't blow it. Don't blow it, but keep in touch with us and watch the show. And those of you who are hovering around the water cooler talking about what happened last night, what happened to the Yankees? Well, the Yankees didn't play last night. All right. They had an off day, but they're playing for the weekend. So now you don't have anything to talk about, of course, unless, of course, you're going to conjure up another subject or so. But please, get away from the water cooler and go at your desk at your computer and continue to watch the show. I want to thank all of you for being around with us. As I said, we're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. People are coming in now, and we would definitely like to talk to them. Now, if you want to indulge in conversation, we hope that you do. All right. But please, if you do, I'm going to ask you to do this for me. Give us your weather forecast, wherever you may be right now. Okay. And the reason why I do that, I just do it for fun. It's nothing that's mandatory or anything like that. I just do it for fun. And because I like to check out what the weather is like in your area and kind of, compare it to what's happening in my area. All right. Now, when you give me your weather forecast, it doesn't have to be full blown. You're not a meteorologist. For that point, neither am I. That's why I have a script when I do the weather here. But maybe you can give us like a little emoji, whether it's a cloudy emoji or maybe it's a sunny emoji or a rainy emoji or whatever it is, along with 65 degrees going up to 75 degrees, something like that, something light, something that we could all understand and kind of compare it. And we hope, by the way, your weather, wherever you are, is, if not the best, maybe decent at least, all right, like here in New York. I'm going to give you the weather forecast for those of you who live in the vicinity of New York City, anywhere near there, don't worry about it, because I'm going to take care of the local forecast, and I'm going to do that. And so I ask you to do that. Okay, remember that all of the views and the opinions expressed on this show, the Coffee Hour, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinion of the people of Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Zoom, or any other publication or social media outlet or broadcast publication. Okay, so with that being said, let's do what we normally do. Raise our cups, our glasses, and let's, whatever your beverage is, I hope it's coffee, raise it up high, because what would the coffee hour be without a little coffee? So, excuse me while I shoot up. That's delicious. It's iced coffee today. We've had pretty good weather Hmm. We had pretty good weather uh, around the time for the past few days. It's been moderately cool, and it's not going to be that bad this weekend. One of the things that Brian was concerned about was the weather because in Charlotte, North Carolina, he was telling me it was really hot and muggy, and he's coming to know he just didn't want to jump out of the frying pan into the fire. So I assured him last night that the weather is not going to be that intense heat wise. It's going to be moderate. It's going to be nice. It's going to be warm, but it's going to be nice, and it's going to be bearable. And because I said he's coming to New York, he's on his way to New York. He's on the route right now. I don't know exactly where he is right now, but he's gonna. I would anticipate that he'll get here somewhere around 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, something like that. I don't know, but he's en route now. So he's got the weather to look forward to. It's going to be nice. If you're watching Brian, don't worry. The weather's going to be nice. It's okay right now. It's okay. It's not going to be really. We don't have a heat wave going. Put it that way. Okay, it is the month of August, and I got to tell you, this month went by real quick. I just thought we just started the month. Here we are. It's the 15th of August. You know what that means? That means we're halfway down the line of the month. We're halfway down the line of the month. And it only seemed like we just jumped into August. And here we are. And parents are waiting, they're rushing, and they're saying, it's time for me to get together with my children, spend some last vacationing moments or whatever it is, because they're going to go back to school. Some open their schools at the end of August and some at the beginning of September. And the ones that go back at the beginning of September, that's usually after the Labor Day holiday weekend, which is the beginning, the very first week. And then they go back to school the following week. And parents are going to be out there. They're going to be shopping for goods for their children, school supplies, which, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, let me just warn you, school supplies went up, because of the tariffs. A lot of things are going up. So spend wisely, the thing is, I think this will teach you to buy the things that you need and not what you want. We'll work on the wants later because everyone wants. But at this particular point, buy the things that you actually need before you concentrate on the wants. Isn't that wise? Because the things that you need, you'll already have. It's right there. And the wants, you can get anytime you want. The wants, you can get anytime you want. So parents are going to go out. They'll be buying all kinds of school supplies, pencils, erasers, pens, all those things, books, binders, all of those things, because I remember back in my school days, that's what we did, you know. So, and you ask parents, well, are you going to miss your children when they go back to school? Are you going to actually miss them? Because now they're going back to school. Are you going to actually miss them? Yeah, I'll miss them. But they're going to get ready for school, and I'm pretty sure some of the kids are excited to get back to school because they get to see their friends that they haven't seen all summer long, uh, spending time with their parents. And parents, uh, you may ask your children, "Did you have a good summer? You like hanging around with me?" Yeah, I like hanging around with you, mom and dad. You know how teenagers are. They're at the stage where they're independent now, and they get out on their own, and they can do certain things on their own, except for fly the coop. I don't think they're ready for that. Some of them they want to stay home, and then you got to watch them. Some might want to stay home forever. That you don't want. Okay, so anyway, it's the month of August, and guess what? Um, Brian is will be here. Brian will be here. He just popped in. So he's going to do the sports. He just popped in with the sports. So we're going to have him come along. But here we are in the month of August. And this is National Dog Month. All month long, it's National Dog Month, and people are taking care of their pets, keep them cool in the hot weather. They, of course, have to be taken care of too. Also, the whole month long, we talk about is Black Business Month. So, all of you African American people who indulge in business, who own their own business, who own, whether it's big or small, you own your own business, we support your businesses, right? Then we have National Immunization Awareness Month. And of course, we want to make sure we take our shots. In the next couple of weeks or so, I will start announcing and keep reminding you to take your shots, which in this case will be the new COVID shots. I think they may be available some places if the new COVID shots are out. Certainly, the shots for influenza. And then there's National Eye Examination Month. We take care of that too as well. Make sure you take care of your eyes. They're very important. You want to see, right? Okay. And then it's today, it's National Lemon Meringue Pie Month. Have your lemon meringue pie. I love lemon pie. I just like plain lemon pie. I'm not too much on the meringue stuff. But they took this part of the month to note for you to notice is National Lemon Meringue Pie. Those of you, again, who are going to indulge in conversation, we would love you to do that. But give us your weather forecast because we'd love to hear what you got as far as your weather is concerned. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, it's what we have right now. As far as our temperature is concerned, believe it or not, it's 81 degrees outside right now, but the sunshine is out and it's looking good so far. So let me quickly give you the weather forecast. It's going to be plenty of sunshine today. We'll have a high 87 degrees. Winds will be southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Cloudy tonight. It's going to be cloudy early, followed by clouds, partly cloudy early, followed by cloudy skies. Overnight, we have a low of 73 degrees. Winds will be light and variable, but they don't say anything about rain in the forecast, which is good. So far, so good. For Saturday, tomorrow, my favorite day of the weekend, it's going to be cloudy skies early, followed by partial clearing, and we'll have a high around 85 degrees. Winds will be south-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday night, a few clouds, low 73, wind south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And for Sunday, as we wrap up our weekend, the temperatures go up a little bit. It's going to be partly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible, high 91, and winds will be southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. It's 81 degrees outside, and the sun has broken out, and it looks good so far. Okay, so that's what we got so far. I said there wasn't any weather in the forecast, but any rain in the forecast, but Sunday we can get by. It's not likely that's going to be that bad. Anyway, it's time to get going, and Brian Camp is en route right now to New York City, our hometown, and he's coming to visit us all. And he's here, I'm surprised, with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. So if you have any sports any kind of sports related questions, he's here right now and he's en route. He's in the car right there. You see him right there, Brian? How's it going? You found some Wi-Fi somewhere, right? He's a little frozen there. Found a little Wi-Fi? I don't hear you.
I could barely hear you.
You can barely hear me. Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
I could barely hear you. I could just hear just a whisper.
Wow. Maybe it's where you are.
I don't know if that's it or not. I'm looking at my settings. My settings is I'm not on mute. Everything's okay, but let me just do the talking there. How about that?
Yeah, do the talking.
Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Coming live from you just outside of West Virginia into Maryland, en route to New York City for a celebration. Hope everybody's doing well out there. Hope everybody is staying cool, most of all. But I'm glad to be with you all. Thank you once again for your prayers and your thoughts when I was out. Had to have a procedure done, and your calls and your text messages were very needed, and I want to thank you all and everything. Whoever's out there, I say again, hello to you all. It's been a busy week here in sports. Phil can put on the, and other black coaches face discrimination. Federal appeals court ruled that Flores, Brian Emery, he was trying to get a coaching job and really could not get it because there was this new thing where they have this Rooney law, which means that
I don't know if you could hear me, Brian. You're coming in and out. You're frozen at the moment. And I'm trying to
black
figure
people of color for interview for.
Okay, Brian. Brian just jumped off. Brian just jumped off. I obviously he's having problems. He's en route, as I said. He's somewhere in Virginia, maybe DC area, and he's losing traction. Uh, but we lost him. But he was doing the World of Sports. If he doesn't come back in just a few minutes, I'm going to finish off the sports for him and let him. And I think he's still there. Can you hear me, Brian? Are you there?
I can hear you now. I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you much better now. So sometimes it's good to get bumped off to get bumped back on. So
Yeah, yeah. You were frozen in some
okay.
spaces, so I don't know if you want to take the time to get us from the beginning in sports, where because we might have lost a few things that you said.
Oh, sure. Why not? I'm gonna okay. I'm gonna start right now. The NFS Silver claims that so the Silver Court claims that black coaches facing discrimination. Now they have this new law, so new that the Rooney laws uh people
Okay,
uh
Brian. Brian, do you hear me? Hello? Brian, do you
the
hear me? Brian, we have a bad connection, so you know what I'm going to do?
the NFL coach.
Brian, can you hear me? I don't think Brian could hear me. Hello? Brian, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, he can't hear me. You know what I'm going to do? Uh, I am going to get some sports going for him. We're gonna. I don't, he obviously has a bad connection en route, and that does happen sometime. He obviously have a very bad connection in route. So let me give you what's happening in sports right now. Here's some of the things that I have right now. Brown star defensive end Myles Garrett was cited for driving 100 miles per hour last Saturday morning in the Cleveland area. Garrett was reportedly stopped for going 100 miles per hour in a 60-mile-per-hour zone in Strongsville, which sits just south of the team's facilities in Baraka, Ohio. He was hit with a $250 ticket, and he can pay it without going to court. And further specifics on the incidents are not yet known. The Browns had landed back in the Cleveland area after their preseason game against the Carolina Panthers in Charlotte just before Garrett was pulled over, presumably was on his way home. While the NBA may go head to head with the NFL on Christmas Day, there's one national holiday the league can celebrate all by itself. That's Martin Luther King Jr. Day. The NBA will have a slate for 4 nationally televised games on Monday, January 19th, The league revealed on Tuesday. The full 2025-26 NBA schedule is set for release to roll out. And the opening day doubleheader, that's the 5-day game Christmas schedule. The 2-game slate in Europe, and the latest reveal is the MLK Day. That's quadruple header that will keep Hoops fans glued to NBC and Peacock for the entire day. Villarreal is promising travel and tickets for free for season ticket holders in the Spanish League match against Barcelona is played in Miami in December. The club said Tuesday that those who don't want to go or can't go will get a 20% discount on their season tickets. And the Spanish Soccer Foundation or Federation on Monday approved a request for the match for the play that will be played in the United States on December 20th. That's the UEFA and FIFA. Now have to approve the request before they can be made official. Veteran race car driver Robbie Brewer died following a crash during a race last Saturday at Bowman Gray Stadium in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. His daughter confirmed in a social media post. Courtney Marquette wrote that her father was a mentor and best friend to her in a tribute posted to Facebook last Sunday morning. Brewer was 53 years old. Seattle Kraken defenseman Riker Evans agreed Monday to a 2-year contract extension, which carries a $2.5 million advantage annual value and runs through the 2026-27 season. Evans recorded 25 points for 5 goals and 2 assists and 73 games during the first full season with the Kraken. And Seattle's second round pick in the 2021 draft, Evans made his NHL debut in December 7th of 2023. And so that's what we have in sports. We had to cover the bases right there. Brian definitely had a connection. He's en route to New York City, as we already told you. And so we took care of that. It's good that we had a backup plan for him. So, Brian, when you get to New York, we'll give us a call here, or we'll give you a call, and we'll talk. So that's what's happening in the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. Brian, as you saw, was there, and we had to do that. But that's what happens sometimes. You're in an area, you're driving, you're on remote. Sometimes you can do it good, and sometimes you can't. You get into areas where you drop out and Wi-Fi is low, and you go way past the towers that's supposed to be available for the areas, and that drops out everything. But we got through it. And that's it. But we can catch Brian back here next Thursday night on Talkback Live. We'll tell you more about that later on as we go along. If you're just joining us, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour, and we're going to be with you for the remaining of the hour. And those of you who are chiming in conversation, and that we hope that you do, we want you to give us your weather forecast and let us know what's happening in your area. This way, we can compare notes. I already gave you my weather forecast in the New York area. And just in case you missed it, we're going to have a pretty decent weather forecast right throughout the weekend, except maybe on Sunday. But it's good. They say a little bit of rain for Sunday, but for the most part, we'll have sunny skies. Temperatures will go up to 91 degrees. So, we're moseying along. We're getting things done, right? That's how we do. We get everything done. But we're glad to have you aboard with us on this this Friday, TGIF. And of course, everybody's looking forward to what's happening on Friday. I look forward to. I always look forward to Fridays because I know the next day is Saturday. And those of you who are fortunate enough to have the entire weekend off, that's good. Enjoy it the best way you can. Last night on the show, we were talking about, whatever I say on the show on Thursday night, I usually like to bring it to some of you who don't get to watch the show, Talk Back Live on Thursday night, I like to bring it to you to the coffee hour. I brought this out last night because I thought it was so funny. And sometimes you can look at things on a ridiculous side. Actor Dean Cain. Remember Dean? Do you know who he is? Some of you may know who he is. Some of you may not know who he is. Some of you probably don't even care who he is. Some of you probably know who he is and don't like him or whatever it is. Whatever it is. Uh, Dean Cain. He's an actor. Dean Cain played the Superman series. I don't know if I don't know if that rings a bell to you. He was one of the Superman, and he played in the Superman series. And he hasn't been working or had any decent roles since that. All right, because now Hollywood doesn't want him that much anymore. He's out of work. He's doing his thing. But that's one of the things in Hollywood. Sometimes you could do good. You could be up at one time and down again. And Hollywood, and I'm not gawking at this, Hollywood is one of the things that it's not exactly secure. Unless of course you're way up there where you're in very high demand and you can get a role anytime you want. So much so that sometimes you don't even have to audition for one. But it's not the same thing for Dean Cain. So the latest thing that we heard about this week, Dean Cain, do you believe that? Can you get to this? Dean Cain is going to join ICE. Okay, those are the people who are gathering up people, supposedly illegal aliens, and sending them to those camps and locking them up in horrific settings. And so Dean Cain wants to be part of that. Okay, and the only way that Dean Cain could be part of that, well, he doesn't. It's not the only way, but we know that he's a MAGA. He's a MAGA guy, according to what I hear, according to what I read. I don't listen to everything that I read or listen to everything that I hear or believe everything I hear, but he's a MAGA guy. So if he's a MAGA guy, he's involved with that the Taco Man in the. Well, I was going to say White House. I can no guys. I can no longer call it the White House anymore, considering who's living in there, who's occupying it. I can't call it the White House anymore. So the Taco Man that lives in the outhouse, I'll say outhouse. Those of you don't know what an outhouse is. Outhouse is before the modern times of today. There were some people in the South who lived in areas, and some places were rural areas where they didn't even have bathrooms in their apartments. And so outside, they had to use the outhouse to take care of the human natures, if you know what I mean. And I don't think that's no longer happening right now. But now that I explained to you what an outhouse is, that's how I refer. I hate to say that, but there's no other way to describe it considering the person that's occupying that house. So we call it the outhouse, the Taco Man who lives in the outhouse. Now, I don't have to use the word outhouse. I can just give you an address that I know very well, 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. I could say that. If I want to be more diplomatic, but if I want to be crazy or if I want to be not caring about this guy, I'll use the terminology outhouse. But for the meantime, I'll say the occupant of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Okay, let's do it that way for now, unless I get angry and lose my temper. So Dean Cain, the actor, wants to join ICE. I don't know if he knows anything about ICE. I don't know if he knows what it entails other than what he sees on TV. Maybe he wants to actually join it so he could be one of the kind of people who wear the bulky outfits with the mask, and so people that can't see his face. And he has two reasons to not let people see his face. For one, so he doesn't have to be identified. Number two, so he doesn't have to show his face for embarrassment, knowing that this guy was once an actor who cannot find any work anymore. All right. So that's the story right now. And of course, you heard the story about he's well, I don't know if he's trying to find any more work in Hollywood, but right now it's not happening right now. Have you ever noticed that the Taco Man, any association you have with the Taco Man, you ever notice that you have any association with the Taco Man, whatever your line of work is, it goes down the tubes. And in this case, entertainment. You have a lot of people who are entertainment, not a lot, just a few, because some are wise and don't want to get caught up in that. They want to keep their jobs. And so the good way to keep your job and to keep your sanity going and to keep your career going well, you don't want to get involved with the Taco Man, because you ever notice that everyone who got involved with him, their careers went down the tube. Either they went down the tube completely or on their way down and become has-beens. All right. Dean Cain, I just mentioned one. Remember Scott Baio, Chachi? Remember him? Right? Can't find work. He's out, you know. Let's see. Rudy Giuliani, who used to be the mayor of New York and a lawyer. All right. He cannot practice anymore. They took his the bar uh, took it away from him, took his license away from him. You can't, and you haven't heard from him. You don't know where he is. You can't see him. He's not there anymore. Kid Rock. Who the hell is Kid Rock? Kid Rock. Remember Kid Rock? All right. You may have known him then, but you don't know him now. Career. Ted Nugent career down the drain. I mentioned Ted Nugent. You say, who is Ted Nugent? Who is Kid Rock? You know, and their careers go down the drain. No, take notice to it. Take notice to it. People who once had great careers and they hooked up with this guy, Sylvester Stallone. He's still a little active, but he's on his way down because he's, first of all, he's too old to play the parts that he's playing. He's not the tough guy. He's a fossil now. And I mean, even if I blew at him like that, he would go down. That's how old he is. All right. I talk about, oh, I'm just as old as he is, but you know, I know where to stay. I know where to play the part. I'm not going to play the tough guy role in a movie. You know, I'll play someone's dad in a movie. How about that? You know, play someone's dad or grandpa in the movie. You know, I'll try to play the tough guy. Yeah, yeah, you mess with me, and I'm going to check you out. I can't hear that bell. I'm so old. Anyway, that's what happens. You know, you get these people who are once there and no longer there. All right. So Dean Cain, please, before you join ICE, unless you don't understand what it's all about, don't bother it. And if you have to get a job doing something, you know, get a job doing something. You know, become an ambassador or something, or whatever. You know, do something else. You know, some people. We were talking about some people who once were in Hollywood and became, if not staying in the realm of Hollywood as producers or anything else, they own their own business. They own banks. They own radio stations or TV stations or something like that. They don't want to get involved in all of that stuff. There you go. That's the way it is. And as far as politics go, even some of the people, they go down the drain. I'll give you another example. Tim Scott is a one. Oh, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Kiss ass, kiss ass, kiss ass. That's what he's been doing all this time. Kiss ass, kiss ass, kiss ass. And kissing all of that ass didn't get him a job in the White House. He can't even get a job in the White House as a cook or a butler. Not that there's anything wrong being a cook or a butler, but he can't even get a job doing that. There's not a African American in the White House. And when was the last time you heard from Herschel Walker? Right? I mean, he's still in politics, but you don't hear too much from him. You know, you're not invited to the White House. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Okay. Dean Cain, you're no longer Superman. you're no longer a Superman. All right. You were a Superman, but you're no longer a Superman. Okay. As a matter of fact, you're the wimpy man. Speaking of Daniel Spencer here, she was an actress. And when she didn't get any more work in Hollywood as a kid, what did she do? She became a doctor. She became smart. She was a veterinarian. And Daniel Spencer, who played the precocious youngster on as D. Thomas on the 1970s ABC sitcom What's Happening, has died. Spencer died Monday in a hospital in Richmond, Virginia, and she was diagnosed with breast cancer and underwent a double mastectomy in 2014, and in 2018 underwent emergency surgery to relieve bleeding on her brain. A GoFundMe page was set up for her to pay her medical expenses. She was 60 years old. It's a camp rock reunion for Demi Lovato and the Jonas Brothers. Demi Lovato joined the trio on stage at the opening concert for the Jonas Brothers 20th anniversary tour in New Jersey's MetLife Stadium on Sunday. The Jonas Brothers bought out Lovato during their hometown concert to perform tracks from their hit 2008 Disney Channel film Camp Rock, as well as the 2010 sequel. Lovato played Michi Torres in the movie, while Joe, Kevin, and Nick Jonas played Connect 3. That's a fictional band based on themselves. Paramount will become a new home to all Ultimate Fighting Championships events in the U.S. under the 7-year agreement with TKO Group announced on Monday. Under the deal, Paramount will exclusively distribute the UFC's full slate of its 13 marquee number events and 30 fight nights on its streaming platform, that's Paramount Plus, with the select number events also set to be simulcast on CBS and starting on the 2026. Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis, Freaky of Friday, scored a huge milestone in less than a week after its official release. The Disney movie went against predictions after raking in impressive box office numbers during a opening week. Kicking off last Friday, the highly anticipated sequel was forecast to gross a global total of $45 million on its opening weekend. And the movie earned $16 million for the international market. And that's making Freaky of Friday one of the 41 movies this year that have grossed over $45 million worldwide. Legendary actress Sharon Stone has her eye on a dream role, but it's sharp departure from the villains she often typecast as. The beloved actress, who is known for her iconic roles in films such as Casino to Basic Instinct, revealed in a new interview that she'll love to tackle the role of a late friend, comic icon Phyllis Diller, who passed away in 2012. Stone went on to explain that Diller's journey from the struggling comic to living legend was extraordinary, and that there are a variety of other stars who could tackle the role of the fellow comic who surrounded her. Longtime Law and Order Special Victims Unit cast member Ice-T, who plays Finn in the hit crime series, shared some big news with their fans last Sunday, as he invites them to meet them in person and for an exciting upcoming event. Ice-T posted a video in which he revealed the news on Instagram. In the clip on the video, the actor introduced himself and his role on Law and Order SVU, going on to announce that he will be at Crime Con in Denver on Friday, September 5th, for what he describes as a night of crime and justice on and off the set and everything in between. Birthdays today. Actress Jennifer Lawrence is 35 years old today. Pop singer Joe Jonas is 36. The late rapper Nipsey Hussle is 40. Actor Ben Affleck is 53. Comedian Anthony Anderson is 55. Singer, the late Bobby Caldwell, would have been 74. Let's see. Songwriter Jimmy Webb is 79. R&B singer Frederick Knight is 81. The late civil rights activist Vernon Jordan would have been 90. The late actress Abby Dalton would have been 90. Country singer, the late Bobby Helms, would have been 92. Jazz pianist Oscar Peterson would have been 100. Actor Mike Connors also would have been 100. Bill Pinkney, who was the bass singer for the Drifters in the early years, would have been 100. Rosemary of the Dick Van Dyke Show would have been 102. Hunt Hall, who played on the Bowery Boys, would have been 105. And TV chef Julia Childs would have been 113. And finally, blues singer, the late Buster Brown, would have been 114 years old. Happy birthday to all of them. And all of the people who are alive in show business, who I just mentioned, happy birthday to you and many, many more. We also say happy birthday to people who haven't been around, who are no longer around with us, but they left us a legacy, and we still remember them. And each year, we're going to continue to remember them and continue to wish you a happy birthday. And guys, if you have a birthday coming up anytime soon, we would love to hear from you. We would love to mention it. Now, you can come on the show, like most people do right now. They get online and they talk to us. And you can come on the show, just like Mary Reed from Brooklyn, New York, who comes on the show regularly. You can do the same thing that she does. And you can come on and wish yourself a happy birthday, right? And talk to other people at the same time. But if you have a birthday coming up and you would rather for me to do it, announce it for you, for the whole wide world to see or for the whole wide world to hear, we would do that for you. All you have to do is get in touch with us and just, I'll give you both information. All right. The email address and a telephone number. Be proactive. Use them. I'll give you the email address once again. The first email address is Frank Allan Prod. Allan is spelled Allan. It's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Prod is PROD. That's short for productions. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. And we have a telephone number too, if you so wish to call. Telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. Now, you could use all of that information. You don't have to necessarily have to have a birthday. You can just use it just to say hi. It's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Whether you want to email us or call us, you can call and leave a message. That's always open. And of course, we will respond to however you get in contact with us via email or telephone call. All right. And it doesn't, as I said, necessarily have to be a birthday. It could be maybe you have some kind of event going on in your community you want us to put out there for you. You can do that too. And we'll do that. And you don't have to pay a dime for it. Isn't that wonderful? Free advertisement. You say, how does this guy live? Free advertisement. Don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. I'm Brooklyn now. Don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. Okay. And if you just want to contact us, it's just to say hi, that's good. Or if you want to talk about the show or even critique the show, which we highly recommend because we would like to know where you stand with us as we stand with you. All right. All kinds of things just to get in touch with us. All right. And keep the information I just gave you in your electronic devices, such as your, your tablet, your telephone, and even your computers, be it laptop or desktop. All right. Keep it there. If you own all of those things, Put them in all of those things. This way, if one is not available, you have the other to fall back on, and it'll be great. Okay. So keep that information in your devices, and I'm going to give you that information again so you can contact us. Okay. The email address again is frankallenprod@aol.com. That's frankallenprod@aol.com. Telephone number 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. Curses on you. Curses on you, you taco man. You psycho. And I could say this because I'm an independent, I don't want to say journalist. I don't know what constitutes a journalist. I don't have a degree in journalism, but I know this stuff very well. And I do know that I don't have a boss looking down for me and say, don't say that. Free speech, you taco, you want to send all of these people out there, 800 National Guard troops out there to take the place of police officers who are guarding places only because you think that Washington, D.C. is not safe enough. It looks like a war zone over there. I'm not going to waste my time on that word. What I will tell you about, I have some movies that I think you're going to love. You're going to love these movies, y'all. Y'all going to love these movies. Right, Tim Scott? You're going to love. I have how many movies? I have 6 movies today. Oh, God. I have 6 movies today. Going back to 1963, Bye Bye Birdie with Janet Leigh, Dick Van Dyke, Maureen Stapleton. That's on Turner Classic Movies. You can check it out. It's Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern. And we mentioned the word psycho, right? All right. Speaking of which, the movie from 1960 with Anthony Perkins, Vera Miles, and John Gavin, Turner Classic Movies. And you can check that out Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. That's Psycho. And here's a movie that I think you're going to like. It's in color, just like Bye Bye Birdie is. 1955 with Jack Webb, Janet Leigh, and Edmund O'Brien. And a few other people surprises like Lena, not Lena Horne, but Ella Fitzgerald and Peggy Lee. They're in the movie. It's called Pete Kelly's Blues. It's a nice movie, a lovely movie. And it comes on Turner Classic Movies Saturday at 1 a.m. Eastern. It's Friday night, Saturday morning. So if you don't have, if you have your box that you want to record, your DVR box, and you still have cable, and you want to record it, you record it and watch it later at your own convenience. Also, we have the original Magnificent Seven from 1960. Yul Brynner, Eli Wallach, and Steve McQueen. Turner Classic Movie. That's Saturday at 12:45 p.m. Eastern. Death Wish. You had sequels of that, but this is the first Death Wish from 1964, starring Charles Bronson. And it's on Turner Classic Movies. You can check it out Sunday at 12 a.m. Eastern. That's Saturday night, Sunday morning. All right. Remember your DVR if you can't stay up that late. And then we have the Dirty Dozens from 1967. Lee Marvin, Ernest Borgnine, and Charles Bronson. Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 1:45 p.m. Eastern. Go to Turner Classic Movies and scroll down to the program guide, because there may be other movies that you may be interested in that you could add to your bucket list of what to watch, and add it to what I just gave you. And you can do that. Also, while you're there, you still have cable. You can go on demand and watch some of the free movies, the pay-per-view movies, and you have a lot of children's program and all kinds of sporting events and documentaries. Also, the networks are there. They will provide you with things, events and movies that they show. You can go on and click onto that, right? There's no problem with that. And that'll be great. And of course, all of the other streaming places that you can go and watch. So you'll never be bored and you'll never starve for entertainment. Let me give you those movies one more time. Bye Bye Birdie, Janet Leigh, Dick Van Dyke, Maureen Stapleton. And that's on Turner Classic Movies. That's Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern. Psycho with Anthony Perkins, Vera Miles, and John Gavin. Turner Classic Movies Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Pete Kelly's Blues. Jack Webb, Janet Leigh, and Edmund O'Brien. Turner Classic Movies Saturday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. The Magnificent Seven with Yul Brenner, Eli Wallach, and Steve McQueen. Turner Classic Movies at Saturday at 12:45 p.m. Eastern. Death Wish, Charles Bronson. Turner Classic Movies Sunday at 12 a.m. Eastern. And The Dirty Dozen, Lee Marvin, Ernest Borgnine, Charles Bronson. Turner Classic Movies Sunday at 1:25 p.m. a.m. Eastern. Remember to check out all of these movies. That's going to wrap it up for me, ladies and gentlemen. I had a good time. I hope you did too. I'm going to come back next Thursday with the Talk Back Live show. I want you to meet me back here. And Brian Kemp will be here with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. Of course, we'll be looking forward to seeing you then. Also, you can meet us back here next Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern for more of the Coffee Hour with Brian Kemp at the helm with sports, and we look forward to seeing you then. And please, you guys who are watching us on YouTube, go to my YouTube channel and please subscribe to it. It's very important. You guys have a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you back here next week. Take care. Bye-bye.
You've been watching the Coffee Hour with your host Frank Allan. The producer has been Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on the Coffee Hour.